Hey guys, check it out. You're watching Jonathan Clarke on YouTube. Oh no. You know something, guys? I always wanted to be the announcer for the Descendants and Zombies Worlds Collide Tour. I've done announcing for years, but check this out. Welcome to the Descendants and Zombies Worlds Collide Tour. Oh yeah. I would have loved to have been the announcer for the Descendants and Zombies Worlds Collide Tour, to have the chance to meet each and every one of you, to take part in the Q&As and the meet and greets. It would have been so much fun for me. I always wanted to be the producer and the writer behind the scenes, the guy going around with the headset on all the time, you know, doing the mic checks and making sure everything was cool with Clarke and Freya Sky, because I think there is never enough opportunities in our lifetimes to really appreciate these moments. And I think that each and every one of you that had a chance to partake in the Worlds Collide Tour this past summer, what an incredible opportunity. What a real chance for each and every one of you to become up and close and personal with your favorite Descendants and Zombie stars. I hope you guys had the time of your life this past summer, like I did, having the chance to review the tour. And I know it's a moment that I will never, ever forget, which is why I'm really excited about Leg 2 of the Worlds Collide Tour, because you had better believe that this is going to happen. With how much love and support that you guys came out with for the Descendants and Zombies Worlds Collide Tour this past summer, making the summer of 2025 the greatest summer of my life, because I not only had the chance to talk about Descendants and Zombies Worlds Collide, I had the honor of meeting each and every one of you. And it was an honor that I know that I will never ever forget, that will go on to hold a very special place in my heart. So thank you so much for that. And thank you so much throughout the summer of 2025 for having made this your favorite Descendants and Zombies YouTube channel of all time. I can never seem to express enough appreciation and or gratitude for the people who really saw something special in this YouTube channel and took a chance on me when you really never had to, because there are thousands of YouTube creators out there that have taken full advantage and really seized the opportunity of creating content revolving around Descendants and Zombies. I've always wanted to show this franchise a greater appreciation. I've always wanted to give people hope for believing in something when it comes to the future of Descendants and Zombies, because indeed there is one. We just don't know when the teaser trailer is officially going to drop for Descendants 5 Book of Wonderland. We don't know when Zombies 5 is coming out. But that's what makes so fun for us to be a fan of Descendants and Zombies, is never knowing what the future may seem to have in store. And I am really excited, incredibly excited, if that, to be a part of this future with each and every one of you, because you have given me the opportunity to be a part of this future and to share in it with you. And it's an opportunity that I will never ever forget and look forward to seizing and being a part of. Because I think if we're going to say something about the Worlds Collide Tour, if we're going to say something about Leg 2 of the tour, if we're going to say something about Freya Sky's concert tour coming in February of this year, it should at least be something nice. Because you got to realize that there is somebody out there watching this video who really loves Freya Sky and Clarke with all of their heart. So the least we can do as YouTubers is say something nice about the people that you've come to know and love and really appreciate through the years, through how you purchase their merchandise, how you're always showing so much love and support for their music and downloading it and buying it off Spotify. It's incredible, the tremendous amount of love and support that your favorite Descendants and Zombie stars have experienced, and I don't think we can ever have enough opportunities for them. I've always wanted to give them more opportunities. That's why I've always wanted to be a part of this franchise, is to really experience its journey and rise to superstardom, because people like Clarke and Freya Sky have been knocking on the door of opportunity, knocking on the door of superstardom, if anything, for a very long time. And for sure, they have received their fair share of criticism, but that doesn't mean that we can't, as fans, give them more of a reason to believe in their criteria, their abilities as actresses and singers to really bring something to life. Because if anything, they've given this franchise so much life, and so much for everybody who has ever believed in it, for every single person who has ever believed in Descendants and Zombies from the very beginning, because I know many of you have been fans of this franchise for a very long time. Something really to believe in. That's been never more apparent in my eyes, and I've just wanted to encourage that, because I don't think that Clarke deserves to be crying all the time because of what people may feel about her. And of course, I'm referring to every critic on YouTube, because everybody is a critic and everybody has an opinion. They deserve the, I know that everybody has a right to an opinion, but I don't think that some people's opinions deserve to be in any conversations having to do with Clarke, especially when she's crying all the time because of how somebody may feel about her. I've loved having these conversations about Kali Control and Freya Sky, but I've always believed there is no room in any conversation that we have for criticism. And if there was anything I ever wanted to contribute to, it was removing the criticism from their lives. So if they were watching on YouTube, if they ever felt confident in themselves to ever watch YouTube again, they would see this guy talking about them, and they would realize that there are genuine people out there in this world, which I know they do know, but we never see enough of it. And I think that the more that we show love and support for people like Kali and Freya, they are really going to go the distance. They are going to have opportunities to play their favorite live-action princesses in movies like Tangled and The Hunchback of Notre Dame, which is reported to begin production in a couple of years from now. So I think that with how much of a desire people like Ruby and Kylie and Freya have expressed to want to play characters like Rapunzel, they should be given the opportunity to do it. Why go to the obvious choices of Tegan Croft or Sabrina Carpenter or Taylor Swift all the time? For sure, Taylor Swift ends up in these conversations about wanting to play a Disney princess because of her rarity and how she resonates with so many wonderful people. And that doesn't take away from how she was able to resonate with millions of people, standing at a net worth of over $1.5 billion in revenue. But when one single soul stands at $1.5 billion in revenue, don't you think that's really seizing the opportunity a bit too much and taking the spotlight from underneath people like Kali Control and Freya Sky? You know, years ago when I was a fan of professional wrestling and I used to profile the professional wrestling industry, we had teddy bears for everybody's favorite wrestlers. So if you had The Undertaker or Shawn Michaels or Hulk Hogan, you could purchase teddy bears off the shop websites, and you could purchase teddy bears at local events where the wrestler vests would be on these teddy bears. And everybody who was ever a fan of, say, Hulk Hogan would buy the teddy bear, and I remember them being so appreciative of it. And it got me to thinking about what would ever happen if Descendants of Zombies characters had their own individual teddy bears or different versions of that same teddy bear. Think about the collections that people would have. I think that the dolls are one way of looking at it, but when you can put Descendants of Zombie stars in games like Fortnite and give them teddy bears, I think it's a wonderful opportunity when you can have them be a part of more photo shoots than ever before. Because let me tell you something, guys. If I was the writer and producer behind Descendants of Zombies, I would forever advocate for them to be a part of more photo shoots than they've ever had the opportunity to be a part of. Now, I know they've ended up on magazine covers, and the magazine labels have obviously allowed them to perceive themselves for the way the magazine label has wanted them to be perceived for living this flawless, seemingly untouchable lifestyle. But I think that if you give them an opportunity to really express themselves through the photo shoots the way they want to be perceived and they want to be reviewed by people, then I think it would present them with a more tremendous opportunity. I think that more photo shoot opportunities, more opportunities to be on the cover of magazines and featured within these magazine articles should be more evident than ever before and should become more apparent. Because never enough of these opportunities seem to be coming the way of Kali Control and Freya Sky. Kali Control just recently was a part of The Masked Singer on Fox, and I know Fox has a very different way of treating celebrities who have guest starred on The Masked Singer. They did it recently for Meg Donnelly for one of the more recent seasons. For season 14, Kali Control had that honor given to her. But the thing is, Fox never really does treat anybody who's ever a part of their original series with any respect. And that's something that I've come to know about Fox for the years, is that Fox really doesn't have a greater appreciation for your favorite Descendants of Zombie stars the way that you guys have forever and always carried it with you. That's why I always wanted the opportunity to work with Fox, to show them how to get it done. Because I would show your favorite Descendants of Zombie stars the greater appreciation they have forever and always deserved, and to have many more conversations with fans, because we can never seem to have enough opportunities to really showcase these stars for their truest potential and what they have yet to realize in their lifetime. I really feel for people like Meg Donnelly and Kali Control, who forever and always take to their social media accounts such as TikTok and YouTube, and they tell their fans how they feel as if they've never really felt good enough for people who may have loved them or may have felt inspired by them, or for their agents or for their labels. I think that is completely unnecessary, and I've also wanted to take that away, and I wanted to replace that with great reviews, because very few people can post a great review about Descendants of Zombies unless they themselves are a die-hard fan of Descendants of Zombies. And this YouTube channel, for how it's been able to resonate with so many wonderful fans of Descendants of Zombies, has surpassed virtually every single one of them. There are so many Descendants fans who have attempted, and I say attempted very lightly, to create a relatable Descendants of Zombies YouTube channel filled with content. But they either get burned out or they become fatigued with uploading content about Descendants of Zombies, and they seem to fail to upload Descendants of Zombies videos for months to come. And I've outlasted virtually every single one of them. I think one of the highest created Descendants of Zombies YouTube channels created by a fan had something like 1,400 fans, 1,400 fans subscribed to it, and this YouTube channel has surpassed virtually every single one of them for how I've been able to some way or somehow create relatable content, and that's all I ever wanted to do. If you were a fan of Freya Sky, then I wanted you guys to know that I was a fan of Freya Sky, and I fully supported Freya Sky's tour. I know that it is extremely difficult for YouTube creators who are fans of Descendants of Zombies to resonate with fans, but I think that if more of them could go out of their way to resonate with each and every one of you, they would have 4,000 people subscribed to their YouTube channels too. It isn't very hard to figure out why this YouTube channel has become everybody's favorite. It's not just because it's hosted by a guy who can talk about Descendants of Zombies from his heart. It's how a guy can resonate with thousands of people some way or somehow, through talking about Cinderella, through expressing his feelings about Alice in Wonderland, to telling you how he may have been a fan of Hercules or Beauty and the Beast. There is a very effective way of touching the heart of every fan of Descendants of Zombies who really wishes there could be more characters in these franchises. And with a wide library of Disney characters and princesses, I think the door has never been more widely open for more stories to be explored in Descendants of Zombies, like Aladdin and Jasmine. Where are they in this franchise? You know, we just saw them in A Life is Sweeter When You Are music video to give greater appreciation for more characters who seem to be insignificant or overshadowed by the Disney villain kids. And the thing is, I really do believe that if you had a greater appreciation coming from the story of Aladdin and Jasmine, it would make this story that much more magical. Or even Meg and Hercules, who had a beautiful story in their own right in the 1997 animated classic. I think Tate Donovan did a wonderful job as the voice of Hercules. He's in his 50s now. So they've come a long way. The characters have achieved so much rarity, so I think that the door has never been more widely left open for more characters to see a greater appreciation. And there have been so many Descendants characters who have had their story left untold for a very long time, and I've forever and always wanted to be a part of their stories, especially Ruby's story, guys, because Ruby was just a genuine person. There was nobody as sweet as what Ruby was, making up the cast of Descendants of Zombies, and I give Ruby Rose Turner a profound amount of credit and show her an endless amount of respect, because it really goes a long way. She really demonstrated how much further kindness can take a person in this lifetime, because I honestly believe that there are never enough kind people seen in this lifetime, and the more kindness that we can show to people that we surround ourselves with, that we may even love, kindness really does go a long way in this world. And she also demonstrated how much of a profound impact bullying can have on a person, which is something that my heart goes out to everybody who may have fallen victim of this through your school year or your high school experience. There was a lot of peer pressure that you guys got to deal with. We just recently started a new school year back in September. There were a lot of people having to deal with this day after day, day in and day out, and I always feel for people who have to endure it, because I had to go through it in high school. It was very difficult for me, so I can only imagine how difficult it must be for you. And you know something, guys? Sophia Carson, one of your favorite Descendants characters of all time, who played Evie, had to endure this too, so much so that she had to transfer schools to kind of get away from it, to separate herself from the people who were bullying her all the time. So just because you're a superstar and you're living this seemingly flawless life, this perfect image, doesn't mean that you have to go through it. They also have to endure public school. They have to do school on set. There's a lot of pressure that goes with this, always in front of the camera. Even when the camera is off, they're afraid to go outside because, of course, everybody knows who they are. I would love to take myself up on the opportunity to meet even more fans of Descendants of Zombies, which I would love to see subscribe here to this YouTube channel, because I've had a very different way of telling this story about Ruby, about Kylie and Freya, who I love so much. I instantly fell in love with Freya Sky. I can't lie to you guys. I got to tell the truth, because of each and every one of you having loved her music the way that you have, how you forever and always supported her, showing her an endless amount of love and support. I can never seem to see enough of it, or I can never seem to have enough opportunities to be a part of these wonderful conversations that I've had with fans for forever and always. Freya Sky's songs, Gold's Gone, The Person I Thought I Knew, Silent Treatment, which was a beautiful song. It was reviewed by thousands of people who immediately, almost instantly, uploaded reaction videos for Descendants of Zombies, and of course with Freya Sky having an endless amount of love and support coming from fans. But the thing that I noticed about the reviews of Silent Treatment were people were always saying who may have hurt Freya. They wanted to know who hurt Freya, and people took to Google trying to find out who it was. It was just a song that was simply released, an unreleased song for a number of months that was released to let you know that whatever you're going through, everything is going to be okay. It was kind of like The Cat in the Hat that was originally written by Dr. Seuss. The Cat in the Hat was like 1,500 words on a couple of pieces of paper, and then it was turned into one of the most successful children's books ever published and ever released. It was a story that was just randomly written by a guy that nobody ever really knew that much about. And Frask, I just wanted you guys to know that whatever you yourself may be going through, everything was going to be okay. Kind of like how I've tried to resonate with you guys and let you know that whatever you may have been going through, everything was going to be all right for the simple reason, for the simple fact that everything is going to be okay no matter what you may be going through. Because these Descendant stars were some of the strongest that I've ever had the honor to talk about, that I've ever had the honor to share in this experience with. I can't lie, I've always wanted to be a part of the Descendants franchise, and I've told this story in a very different way, in a far more effective way than anybody ever could, and I've taken away a great appreciation from people like Kylie and Ruby and Malia, who can never seem to spend enough time together, and I wish we had more opportunities to see them spend more time together. You know, one of the things that I was really upset about this past summer was that Ruby was not included in the Descendants to Zombies Worlds Collide tour for how beautifully she sang that song, Life is Sweeter When You Are, and I just would have loved to have had the opportunity to see Ruby share the stage with people like Kylie and Malia and Freya, because I think she had a lot to offer to that tour, and she always had a lot to offer and bring the Descendants of Zombies franchises to life. I will never forget Ruby for her contributions, and as long as I'm alive and there's a breath in me, we will always have these conversations about Ruby and every one of your favorite Descendants of Zombies characters, past or present, because everybody has always and forever belonged in these franchises and have had a chance to deserve to come back. Never just to be taken out of the story like they did with Ruby, because the concept of time travel was going to be removed from Descendants by Book Wonderland, now focusing on the consequences of time travel, which many of them will be felt in the summer of 2026. And the cool thing is about this movie is we don't know what the consequences of time travel are going to be after having altered the fabric of time. I myself would have loved the opportunity to have gone back in time, altered the fabric of it, just to see what would have happened. Come to think of it, that sounds really scary, but I would have loved the opportunity to have done things like chase a rabbit down through a rabbit hole or drive a side-by-side through a rabbit hole that may have been closed for years. I would have loved to have been a part of this. I would love to have been the voice in those opening monologues of Descendants of Zombies where, you know, you have the first probably 4 or 5 lines of the story and the first 30 seconds of the movie was just told by this animated scene, by this really amazing voice. I would have loved to have the opportunity to do that. Because I think that there are never enough YouTube creators who often resonate with fans of Descendants of Zombies, because once you win the hearts of every fan of Descendants of Zombies, you have truly won over fans that you have to be very appreciative of. Because the one thing that you have to realize is they will love you with all of your heart. Their love for Descendants of Zombies content is truly unconditional, and it is something to really, you know, value and really appreciate. And I think that if more YouTube creators could only realize that, which is very difficult to do sometimes, extremely difficult to do for a lot of YouTube creators who can never seem to resonate enough with Descendants of Zombies fans, I think a greater appreciation will come from the fans for their videos, which never seems to be, because the majority of these videos are pretty much AI. They are fake trailers, and they're leading you down a path of misinformation and really false hope. The latest that I have for you about the Descendants by Book Wonderland official teaser trailer is that it will be released on February 9th, 2026, and that has not even been confirmed. I think it's just people just trying to start up rumors about Descendants of Zombies. We have Kylie Cantrell appearing at the 2026 Grammy Award show, which many people never had the opportunity to do, and I know Leah Money Segura has expressed a wish to want to perform on the Grammy stage and perform in Madison Square Garden. That would be so cool for a girl as young as Leah Money Segura, just 16 years old, to have the opportunity, 16, 17 years old, to perform at Madison Square Garden or to perform at the Grammy stage. You know, I remember Ariana Grande years ago having the chance to perform at the Grammys, and I remember how appreciative Ariana Grande was, and I remember her singing the song that she had chosen to sing in front of the Grammy crowd, and I remember seeing the tears rolling down her eyes because the camera zoomed up on her eyes to capture her emotion, and I remember being there to experience it, and I never ever forgot it, because she knew that this moment was probably never going to happen for her again, and she really had to enjoy this moment and really bask in the glory of it, because moments like these truly never do happen for a whole lot of people. So when they are given the opportunity, the least we can do as a fandom is support them with an endless amount of love and support, because they need it and they deserve it. They need you as fans more than you ever realize, because you are the reason why this is all like glue. You are the glue that keeps Descendants of Zombies together, that keeps their hearts together from falling apart because of our critics such as this person or that person may feel about them, because they are watching themselves. The reality of it is they are watching themselves on YouTube each and every night, and they are heartbroken over how people feel about them because of some stupid review they may have uploaded. And this YouTube channel is here to help you make sense of everything happening around you for Descendants of Zombies. So if you have ever believed in Descendants of Zombies or may have been a fan of it, then I think this is the YouTube channel you will have a great deal of appreciation for, take something special away from because of, and always come back for the next conversation and the latest video. Because if you've ever been a fan of Descendants of Zombies, then this is the YouTube channel for you. We have so much to be excited about with the foreseeable future, and I have never felt more honored to be a part of it. And hey guys, don't ever forget that you are the reason why Descendants of Zombies has happened. You are the reason why Descendants of Zombies and people like Clarke and Shrell and Freya Sky always and forever existed and will continue to forever and always remain eternal. Because if there's one thing I'm going to go down in history for, it's to make sure that your favorite Descendants of Zombie stars are remembered for the stars they have forever and always been deserving of being appreciative and being remembered for having been, because they have touched your hearts in so many unbelievable ways. You guys are the greatest fans of all time. I know that to be more apparent than ever before, and it's something that we should all appreciate, not just myself, but every single person who may have ever reviewed Descendants of Zombies. Of course, forever and always touching a place in your heart, having made this your favorite Descendants of Zombies YouTube channel of all time. Seriously, guys, from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for having watched this video and believing in me, and more importantly, Descendants of Zombie stars the way you have forever and always believed in them. Thank you so much for having made this your favorite Descendants of Zombies YouTube channel of all time. I will return just after sunset with one final video with my thoughts in it on you for you, and I hope you will join me for it. Thank you so much for having made this your favorite Descendants of Zombies YouTube channel of all time.